I went on an interview. They told me that I will be spending 7 days in prison.
This is another MyView TV exclusive. Please remember to hit the notification bell, like, share, and subscribe.
I don't bring nobody forward in here for cheer for me. Everything what you see up, my natural talent. Let me tell you something. You see, when you know what to please the audience with, it's simple, man.
I go on, my people. Hope everybody doing okay. Hope everybody doing alright. Them normally say there's more than one side to a story, and a million side to the story. Yeah, man. Nobody now ever get to the top of the truth. But we have the female version of the whole JDF discharge story. Who don't get to see the video yet? We have the video for sure. No? And we have some people who reach out to me and we have never what a reason and where them think might take place and where them think it happen. A lot of persons sorry for her, some don't sorry for her. But only one thing me can say, people. Yes, if she never did mad, she mad now. Me I be honest with them. Me now go round in, you know. You don't know me split just it's supposed to be split. If she never did mad, the fact that she got Bellevue and them juke her, she's now a certified mad person. Me now ask Christ this and tell me I go tell you. So who never hear what she have to say? Me I go make you hear what she have to say. And we're also going to listen to some other personnel who wishes to share their view on the whole matter. And then you can share for you one time, make you know what you feel happen and what you think are going. Alright, my people?
Part of, well, the medical part was just crap. They don't know what they're doing, and worst, they don't know how to treat depression. Because they diagnosed me with depression and they had me confined for 2.5 months. And after the confinement ended, they overdosed me, gave me pills to take, and when I took them as they were prescribed, they accused me of committing suicide. And it was all over JDF. I couldn't walk in peace. People just kept on coming to me saying that why. Persons were asking why I tried to kill myself, and it was just getting too much. I tried to report the doctors, it didn't go anywhere until I decided I was gonna take it up the chain and report it to the Chief of Defense Staff. Same thing, a lot of pushback. It wasn't going anywhere really. And I saw him at an annual men's dinner and I told him what was happening, and he said I should send it straight to him. When it reached his office, he was on leave, and the acting CDS sent back my complaint. And the best thing that they could do, my commanding officer could do, was charge me for breaking chain of command. At the time, I was pregnant, so they didn't do anything. Not that they couldn't. It wasn't a case where they could take actions while I was pregnant, because there are so many punishments that they could have meted out to me based on the charge. But I just know that they had something planned, because they didn't do anything about it when I was pregnant. And when I was on maternity leave, I got a call that I had an interview. They asked about why I sent off my redress knowing that there's a chain. And I told them that the CDS told me to send it directly to him. After the maternity leave ended, I spent a day at work and I was sent. I went on an interview. They told me that I will be spending 7 days in prison.
Just a beg on a moment and a time, you know, come on, reason about this in our comment section in night, yeah? Because there's a lot of person who going through a lot of stuff and then not nobody for talk to. The fact that she can come out, come say this and that, go on. We still want to hear from the JDF, you know, because we want to go on and feed them and, you know.
When a doctor don't know how to treat depression, because depression is real, but here in Jamaica we lack the knowledge. Majority of doctors lack the knowledge of depression. And instead of admitting that you can't help a person or the advisor, you punish them because of depression. Give the lady what she did need. She just needed rest and some time, some time to rejuvenate, to get back our head in the right place. But instead of that, them show her all over the place. Them send her, them lock her up after she have baby, which that is even worse, because you can't put a depression person, lock up a person. Why? Because she go over her head, go over the superior head because he never wants to do anything about it. Or what? You disrespect the chain of command. If the chain of command understand their responsibility, you have to go somewhere where we would help. And up until now, like, no. And then after that, lock her up. 7 days, just have baby, come out back, go back and work, then fling her at Bellevue again for another 7 days. Like, seriously, them, when you go Bellevue is when you're literally mad. You're unstable. And because them really want to push out a person, them literally use her say, she's suicidal. No, that is fuck. Excuse my language, but that's a foolishness. Me eventually find the full video and them discharge the woman for how long and still not even want to pay off the woman. That's not blood clot, right? Depression is a mental health. It's a thing where it's a lifetime thing. You have to know how to treat a person with depression. You're not supposed to bash them. And I just beat her under their condition same way. That's not right. I look, she never open a grenade over there and just boom down the whole camp. I look, they're lucky.
I was shocked. I couldn't believe. So don't think that because it is JDF prison, it is special. It is just like prison out on the road or anywhere else. I was the only female in prison at the time. There, I only had a separate room for myself. The shower area was different, but I had to eat with the other males and everything else because I just had baby and it was via C-section. I didn't do any cleanup because just as we have persons in prison that do farming and whatever, the persons in military prison, they have to clean up every clean or every little fatigue that needs to be done in the camp is the prisoners do it. But I was excused because I just had baby via C-section. But the worst part about it was having to express milk to send to my baby. Before I was sent to prison though, I had to see JDF doctor, the same doctor that I made a report against, for them to say whether I can go to jail or not, if I'm medically fit to go to prison. They said I wasn't fit initially, but after speaking to my commanding officer, they sent me to jail. And when I was in prison, I know they realized that what they did was wrong, because every time the milk was to be sent to the baby, they came and they checked it like they're trying to protect themselves, and they signed some document to say that they check the milk before it is sent off and to ensure that it is sent off frozen and all kind of stuff. It was hard for me being in prison. I mean, it's prison. Just had a baby. I miss her. I miss my son. I cried day in, day out. I hardly slept. I don't think I sleep. There was one night, one night I was dozing off and I felt my cell moving and I thought it was an earthquake. I don't know what it was. But there's another guy that was in prison at the same time.
Yes, my view on this aspect as to what's going on with her. I hope that the commanders in chief and the doctors, I hope they did a evaluation on her, as in terms of, because it could be a major depression for her, and major depression sometimes comes from your childhood state and abuse, your brain structure, medical condition, drug abuse, death in the family, you name it. But Jamaica, They don't really take depression seriously, so it's been overlooked. And a lot of persons have get misdiagnosed, as she was saying something about injection. Because I don't even know the full story as to what really transpired with her, to say what has they done so far to see exactly as to what's going on with her, right? So there's a lot of treatment they could actually give her in terms of cognitive behavioral therapy, hyperpersonal therapy, psychodynamic therapy. But as in terms of Jamaica, they don't do these things. They don't. So a lot of people did it and them suffer and them not get the right treatment as they should, because them things are overlooked. A lot of people are walking a jacket and tie and them as crazy as hell because Jamaica take this thing. But in her case, then we have to restrain she and put her in like a facility, because possibility after doing their evaluation, them think she's a threat to herself, the public, and the baby. So them mother have to put she in a facility. So basically she was not in a prison. She was not in a prison because prisoners do hard labor, and she was not doing any hard labor as she's earlier mentioned. She never in an hard labor, so she never in a prison. So she not gonna tell her what really transpired now, because as let me tell her, depression and bipolar people, they might look sensible and might talk sensible, but in the brain there's a lot of things going on in the brain that them really can't really express themselves to say as to what's going on with them, and they don't see themselves as anything wrong with them, because see, she's putting all the blames on the commanders and the doctors, when in truth and in fact, if you watch her whole attitude and her whole demeanor, you can see that something is wrong with her upstairs, but she's not gonna admit that as to any quote-unquote bipolar, depression, cognitive impairment. She's not gonna claim it. You understand? But I think Jamaica, they need to start taking depression seriously, because depression, major depression, it's a serious shit. It's a serious illness where them really need to take up in their hand. Unlike overseas or foreign countries abroad, them don't take this lightly, because she need help. She needs help because she still not look sober up to now. So I don't even know if them actually give her the baby, but come on, the commanding officer had to take her off the street. They could not allow a soldier going through depression or mental illness or cognitive impairment. They could not allow her out on the street to be communicating with the public. She's a threat. This woman is sick. But she's not gonna say she's sick, but she's sick. So she blamed the commander them for actually not have her in a lockup. She needs to be in lockup. She's mentally ill. You can't go to the road as a soldier with gun go kill off innocent people because you're sick in your head. You don't even know what's actually going through her brain. So honestly, I think she needs help, and I hope she get the proper evaluation, and I hope she get the proper care and treatment that she deserves, because of a lot of these incidents in Jamaica get overlooked, and people are not properly diagnosed, and people are just out there walking around, and when them lick across the head and kill somebody, not come outside. There's no outcome. And these are the things why people out the road are walk up and want to eat at the garbage, because they're not getting the help them desire.